Acting?
Acting.
Hi, I'm Alicia.
And I'm Tiana.
We're two working actors. We happen to be women,
We happen to be Black. Sometimes that matters.
and sometimes it doesn't. Either way,
We're here to talk about all things acting, from personal experiences.
to the industry itself, and of course, our love of the craft.
So join us as we chat with each other, as well as the occasional acting friend, as we talk about all things.
Acting.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Yes, to the first episode.
The first, oh my God, can you believe I'm so proud of us for actually doing this.
Literally.
Yeah,
And honestly, like this is our Christmas gift to everyone. You're welcome.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We decided there was a gap in the market and the world needed to hear our voices.
Exactly. So buckle up.
Yeah.
No, it's not that deep.
It's not
Be
that
so
big.
chill.
We literally were like, we're gonna lay down the law.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's gonna be chill. I guess if we're gonna get into it, wow,
Yeah.
I never thought about like it's so
Like our
interesting.
like how would you introduce yourself? How would you introduce
Yeah.
yourself to someone who asks what you do besides like your 9 to 5?
Yeah. Okay, so hmm, that requires knowing oneself, and I feel like I don't know myself very well.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I get like outside of work, I'm like, okay, well, I'm Alicia and
Yeah.
I've worked in my entire working experience has been in customer service. I don't love it, but I'm good at it. Pays the bills, but I'm ready to explore what my heart desires, and what my heart desires is acting. Hence why I randomly decided to take an acting class one day in 2022, and here we are 3 years later,
Here we are,
deciding to do
3.
something with it. I
Oh my
know.
gosh.
Isn't it insane?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I have
it's
a like a button for what you just said about being in customer service that
mm,
you're good at it, but you don't really like it.
mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people in customer service are actors because you kind of
You have to be able to put it on,
you have
you
to be
know?
theatrical, okay?
Yeah.
You have to act like you care.
Their problem is my problem,
Yeah.
even though I really don't care. I want to go home most times,
Yes.
you know? But I mean, not to say I don't care about the customer. I do care about my customers, but it's like
Uh-huh.
they're not as big. Their problems aren't as big to me as they are
Yeah.
to them. And that's, I guess, where the acting comes in, is because you really do want them to feel like they're being heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's not that I don't care. I just don't see how certain things are like a huge deal to people. A lot of things in service are not that serious.
Hmm.
And so I have a hard time. I'm like, am I a bad actor? Because I can't,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I can't empathize.
Let's break it and reverse it. What do you mean?
Well, okay, because let me be very clear. Most of my professional experience is behind a desk somewhere in someone's back corner, doing someone's money tracking or something intentionally.
Hmm.
So when I've had service jobs, it's really difficult for me to find the care. I'll
Okay.
help you,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna look at you like,
Did you really need to bring this to me?
be like, I don't,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess like it's because it is like a different, like having to work with the public in a customer service basis, like on a day-to-day basis, is it's a different kind of like mental toll.
I
Like
think
you
yes.
really, yeah.
And there are people who do it so well, and they're like
Like
made for it.
they're made like they don't lose energy, they don't get tired, they don't
Yeah,
have bad days. Like they can just like they can turn it on and like be that like that rep that people need, I guess. Love that
that's
for
true.
them.
You know what's funny though? There is some sort of like, I don't I can, if I'm being told I need to act, or like if there's a role and I'm acting, I can act, and I see the point in doing that.
Hmm.
But outside, I don't really see the point of putting on. I don't want to perform. I think that's what I'm getting at.
Mm.
I don't want to perform. If it's not a performance, I'm not performing.
That's so valid because especially because I feel like we live in a time when everyone is kind of expected to be performing. Like
Yes.
I was just watching a TikTok and the person they were talking about the new show I Love LA and it's made by Rachel
Yeah.
Sennett. I really want to watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of saying how like people were initially comparing it to girls, but
Oh,
girls
yeah.
was different in the sense of like the characters in girls were very emotional. They wore their heart on their sleeves. Like they were stumbling hot messes and they
Mhm.
were not necessarily aware of it, but like they were honest about it.
Yeah.
Versus the younger generation in I Love LA, they're putting on a performance. Everything is about the performance. Like nothing is authentic and true. And I
Yeah.
think that is like something that as a culture and a society, like everything has become about the performance because people are
Yeah.
so expecting to be filmed and like someone's watching them at all
That's
times,
true.
right?
That's true. Yeah, that's a very, very good point.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind
Yeah.
of love that like you have that delineation of like, no, unless I'm acting, unless you give me a script and say like, hey, this is a performance, I'm not gonna put on the airs just to appease some random.
Yeah, I just can't find the authenticity in it. And that's
Yeah.
something that like our acting coach talks about all the time. Like you have to find that realness. And for me, it's
Mm-hmm.
not real to perform when you're not on a stage or you're not on a set. For like it just doesn't make sense to me. And also
Yeah.
like I would like to connect to someone just off the strength of myself, like my
Mm-hmm.
personality, that I would rather connect off of that than, you know, like
just like false, like going in under false pretenses and then
yeah.
like because the thing about like customer service and because I think you're absolutely right, it is putting on a performance and it is acting in its own sense, but it's like the because of how inauthentic the initial interaction is, you can never tell when the other person is being genuine. And then like
Right.
now like there's like you can't there's almost like this layer of distrust that goes into the interaction. um
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah. It's a good point though. Yeah. Kind of why we want to do this podcast, have these conversations.
Yeah, yeah. Like, where does acting show up in other areas of our life, and how do we call ourselves actors while still working regular non-acting jobs?
Yeah, because that's, but you know what though, I will say, just like at a basic level, like I just got into community theater as an
Mm-hmm.
adult, and it's so much easier to go to work. It's not easy, but it's easier to go to work when I know that I have a rehearsal later on or I have a performance this week or something like that.
Yeah.
It makes it worth something.
Is it because like you have like that thing to look forward to, like that thing
Yeah.
that's like, when you get through the day, you're like, okay, well at least I'll be doing what I love to do.
Yeah. It makes the paycheck like worth something else for
Mm-hmm.
me besides like paying my bills and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's valid. Because I mean, it's like, because really, that's what it is. It's
Yeah.
we're working so that we can afford to follow our dreams and like do the things that
Yeah.
we care about and are actually
Hmm.
passionate about. That's
Yeah.
why it's like, do I love my job? No, but it's there and it's what allows me to get through to the next day.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, yeah.
Wait, speaking of community theater, because you said something this week that I really liked. Oh my god, and I didn't write it down. Oh, of just how some people like do it, like how long the days can be
Oh,
and how like busy it is and like how
yeah.
people can do it like constantly, like show back to back to back.
Yeah.
Seems
It's
like a lot.
intense.
Yeah.
Theater takes a lot of your time, and I like just have to emphasize that this is community theater. I am not on Broadway yet. I'm like this is like small theaters that hold maybe 50 people, you know what I mean? But it's like when you start getting, first of all, you're rehearsing 2 or 3 times a week. And thankfully, most of the people that you'll encounter still have 9 to 5. So
Hmm.
the rehearsals are going to be starting at 6 at the earliest. They're going to run for a couple hours, maybe three. Then the closer you get to like tech week, then you're doing, the rehearsals like almost every day that week. And then you have the performances, which are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe one time each day. Maybe you have two a days on Saturday. And it just makes the day so long because if you're leaving the house at like 7, you're not getting back until maybe 10, then you got to wake up and do it all over again. And then when performance time comes, you're leaving even later from the theater. And it's really fun and it's really worth it. Not once on the past show that I did in September
Mhm.
was I like, I'm over this. But I was tired.
Right, right. Of just like the energetic like drain of it
Oh
all.
my gosh.
Yeah, of just like
Yeah.
and like having to like replenish yourself and like kind of but then it ties back into what you said of like but then you wake up and you have something to look forward to,
Oh my
right? Like and
gosh.
it's almost like that in a way energizes you.
Yeah. Whereas with like when you're on a set for like a short or like a indie or something like that, it's kind of sad when it's over.
It's so sad.
And then it's like everyone just leaves.
Yeah,
And
it's
they're like, okay, it's a wrap. And it's like, okay, anyone want to
I'll
hang out?
no, no, literally, legitimately, I'll never forget the first time I was on set, or the second time I was on set. It was for background work, and we're walking out. As we're walking out, they're handing us our checks, and I'm just like, okay, I guess I'll never see any of you.
Yes,
Like, mind you, we just spent like these long behind days together, like getting to know each
exactly.
other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it's funny because like with stuff like that, it might not come out for another 6 months, if
If you're
that.
lucky, if
Yeah.
you're lucky, yeah.
And then sometimes it won't come out at all, so you really may never see them again.
hmm
So it's like,
hmm
wow, I kind of need closure. Like,
Yeah, that is the one thing about like film and like screen, I guess, the screen acting and screen productions of just you're just done. It's just wrap.
yeah.
If that's your last day on set, that's your last day on set.
Yeah. And then you're like, because by the time like you've done several takes of the same scene, I feel like
hmm
once you get to like that last take, you're like, oh, I kind of want to keep doing this. Like
Right?
I want to stick with the character a little bit longer. And then they're like, okay, no, we got to go to the next thing. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but,
Pros and
and then that
cons.
lives on. Whereas like
And you can always come back to it. Yeah.
live theater, that's it. It
But
may
that's
get
also the
recorded.
beauty of live theater, right? Of that, like how
Yeah.
temporary it is and how like fleeting it is. It's like you're supposed to what I like about theater, what I love about theater and respect about theater is that like it really does force you to be present and in the moment. Like you have no choice because it's a lie.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
Theater's so fun.
I long for the day that I get my first theater production. So the audition that I submitted for, I did get a call back,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I it, I got the call back, and the callback was like, so I worked at a convention a couple weeks ago, and the callback was literally at 2 p.m. in the middle of me working at this freaking convention.
Stop.
Okay, so I luckily the people that I was working for, like they were super cool, and they were like, okay, yeah, just take your lunch and come back when you can, like
Oh, nice.
so I was able to go and like rush to it because it was only 20 minutes away from the place that I was working, and it felt like it went really well. And theater auditions are so interesting because I've only done a couple so far. And the first one that I did was on a stage. They had us like in the stage, and kind of how we've talked about it before, where like they would pair you with another actor and like you do the scene together, and then they would like
Yeah.
maybe either keep you there or move you and like say, okay, we'll bring you back if you need it. And that's how that one went, and that was really interesting. But this one was more because it was a callback. They literally just like would call us into a room, um, and if they wanted us to do a scene, they would like give us the scene after we did the monologue, and then have
Oh,
us come
okay.
back to do it. But they didn't have
Yeah.
me do that. I noticed they did it with a couple other people. They didn't have me do that. But I did my monologue that I sent in, and the director gave me some notes. I felt like I
Really?
took them really well. And
Uh-huh.
what I really liked is that I got a laugh out of him. He laughed. He chuckled, like a real life, genuine, like authentic chuckle because it was a comedic scene. And I was like,
Okay.
okay, that feels really good. I didn't get it. I say all that to say I didn't get it. I didn't get it. They emailed me, and It
Oh,
stinks, but he did say in the email, like, we really appreciated and liked your talent and your professionalism. And I'm like, okay, well, that felt personal. Like, that didn't feel like a generic email.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and I guess I wasn't what they had in mind for it, which is totally fine. That's the nature of the business. But it's
Mhm.
so, theater is just so interesting in that way because you really never know. You really never
Yeah,
know, like, what exactly they're looking for, because like I feel like screen casting is like a little bit more specific, so like you can kind of get an idea of like the kind of character that they're
hmm,
going for.
hmm,
But with theater, it's like, because it can be ambiguous unless it's like super specific of like, we need this exact type of person to play this role,
yeah.
then like you never know like what exactly they're looking for.
What they're looking for. Yeah. I haven't figured out how to cope with that yet.
Yeah, it's
Especially
weird.
for the roles where you get a callback and you're like, ooh, like I'm gonna kill him. Like I got this.
Good, yes, like I practiced. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
Oh.
okay, it's okay, there'll be others.
Yeah.
I definitely, but I say all that to say I really want to get into theater because I've always wanted to do theater. I've always been interested in theater. Um, but I just never felt like I had the opportunity for it.
Mm.
And then it also makes me wonder, like, well, maybe I should take a theater acting class,
Yes.
because so far it's only been screen acting.
Yes.
Theater acting is very different.
And okay, so one thing, so because the class that we met in
Hmm.
is screen.
Yes,
And
yes.
we do a lot of like scene work,
Hmm.
which I find prepares us for the situation of like what you were just describing in
Hmm.
auditions where they pair you with someone and they're like, okay, like let's play it out. Like it does get you, I feel comfortable with stuff like that. But it's harder because like the first audition I did after attending the acting class or after starting, the feedback I got was that I wasn't big enough. Like my voice, my
Okay.
posture, my movement.
And this was for a theater audition?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Like
see, yeah,
I
exactly.
basically wasn't taking up enough space because I'm
Right.
so used to being in the studio.
Hmm.
And especially when like you're trying to do like a scene like you're on set where there would be a mic above your head and all this stuff. So you're not screaming. Like it
Yeah.
that just comes across crazy when you're
Right.
doing a screen class. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would really like to do a theater acting class. And there's a
Yeah.
lot of them, like in
There
Philadelphia
are.
area.
Oh my God, they have the one. It's Playhouse. I know mixed reviews. We've heard mixed reviews, and we're not going to get
Oh
into it.
yeah.
But I feel like because of how rigorous it is, like
Yeah.
I feel like that would be kind of like the kind of training that I'm looking for to be able
Yeah.
to do theater, because it's like, again, the audition went great, the callback went great. I felt
Mhm.
good about it, but I wasn't what they were looking for, and a part of me can't help but wonder, well, is it because I don't have that spark that you have to have as a theater actor? And I don't mean like in like, I guess, when I say spark, I guess I mean energy of just like, because like there is a certain, like, you really do have to be big and you have to be okay with like
Yeah.
projecting your energy out, and
Yes.
like in as someone who gets in her head, I'm fine with screen acting because I'm able to keep it small. But with
Right.
theater acting, it's like, sometimes I get in my head and I start to get too scared about looking ridiculous.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, like, and I don't want to look ridiculous and silly. And it's like, the only one who thinks you look ridiculous and silly is you. And so it's like, you have to get out
Yeah.
of your head about that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. One thing that I've learned from watching people around me is that they're little, like they allow themselves to be goofy more
Mm-hmm.
often. And not like necessarily if the scene doesn't call for it, but they aren't afraid to take that step. Whereas like it's measured a little bit in the scenes that we do in, our class. Like you're
Right.
not gonna be a complete crazy person. Like you'll look weird if you are so over the top. Like, you know what I mean? It won't look
Right.
authentic to our point
Right.
earlier.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It won't look authentic. It won't look like you're having like an authentic experience within the scene, or like a truthful experience. Or Brian, our acting coach, he'll always say, you look like you're what the fuck? What is he, like, putting on a show? Not putting on a show. but you indicating. You're always indicating.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like, but like in theater, you're supposed to indicate. You have to
Yeah.
indicate. So it's
Yeah.
like you have to like kind of like train those muscles of like when to indicate and when to not.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that like when I was practicing for the audition, I
Hmm.
found myself trying to like intentionally indicate, but I also like wanted to make sure I was strategic about it and like using it when it needed to be done. I don't know. Maybe I
Yeah.
was like I'm just thinking too much about it.
No, you're not. I feel like that's all valid. Like, that's all valid. You know what's
Yeah.
so funny? I went to see Macbeth like a couple
Mm.
years ago. And it was one of those outdoor, like they did it outdoor. They had like a
Mm-hmm.
set outside. It was like the summertime and it was so good. But I remember thinking, this is so dramatic. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost goofy. And then I was like, it's Shakespeare.
Yes,
Like that's what it's supposed to be so dramatic that it's
exactly.
like I felt stupid saying that. I was describing it to someone because they asked me, they were like, "Oh, how was it?" And I was like, "It was so like it was they." And then I was like, "It's
Like
supposed to
as
be
you're
satire."
explaining it, you're like, well, it's
It's,
almost as though they did that intentionally. But it's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's like it's kind of it's I guess theater, I mean, not for nothing, theater is supposed to be camp in a way because of how dramatic
yeah.
it is, you know, like they
That's a
lean into it.
yes, that's a great way to describe it. Because like
Yeah.
in the best way possible, like they ate it up. But I was just like, wow, like this, I'm not doing enough.
Literally like
I'm
I'm
not
not
doing it.
doing enough. Like why how but like and that's the thing, it's like I know I'm not doing enough. I'm aware I'm not doing enough. So
Yeah.
how do I get over myself so I can do enough? How so I can do even more? Like and I feel like I don't know if like I'm standing in my own way or something. I don't know. How do you've done theater? You've done like actual shows. Like how do you feel about it?
I think that you're not standing in your way. I think that, I mean, I don't know if I can even give a response to that because this is only, I'm rehearsing for my second full show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like you said, there's sometimes they're just looking for something and you'll never know. Because there's a lot of good actors in this area, and
Right.
a lot of them want to do community theater. And a lot of them, by the way, have been doing it for like 20 years, 20, 30 years.
That too.
So it's like
Experienced.
they already have the experience, like they kind of know all the people, they know the players, and they know how theaters operate, how certain people like that, they have all the ins and outs. I think that I got to a point where I just I've been to so many auditions that I'm expecting not to get the part most of the
Mm.
time. And I think that helped me kind of loosen up in a lot of them. And so when I find like this play that I'm in now, I didn't like go into it think I honestly thought I was just not gonna I didn't think I was gonna get a call back. I didn't think anything
That's
further
fair.
than that. And so
Yeah.
I showed up and like when they were like, okay, do a cold read, I was just like, okay, let's do it.
And you know, it's funny. I remember you saying that when you had the audition, like you were very much like relaxed about it, and not like you
Yeah.
didn't like take it seriously or anything, but just in like
No,
you weren't putting all this pressure on yourself to
yeah.
nail it or to like get it perfect.
I was chilling. And then the play that I wanted to get that I put so much effort into,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't end up getting that. So, I mean, like maybe I still haven't learned my lesson yet. Like just kind of I'm rolling with it though. Like whatever
And that's
happens.
why we're doing this podcast, girl, because we have so many lessons to learn.
Yeah, I mean, it's all experience. I
Yeah.
do like auditioning a lot more than I thought, or
Really?
a lot more than like 2 years ago when I
Okay.
was so new. I was like terrified
Mm-hmm.
of auditioning and I was like shaking going into it. And now I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like this will be fun. I can get,
Yeah.
like, I can see how they want me to do it. Like, do they want a monologue? Do they want cold reads? Which a lot of places want cold reads.
They love themselves a cold read, girl. They will throw that script at you and say, "Okay, you got it."
I literally, I'm thinking everyone wants a monologue. So I was working on several, and I would like get monologues based on like the show. Like if I was
Mm-hmm.
auditioning for Shakespeare, I would do a Shakespeare monologue or whatever. And like a lot of times it's just like, okay, send us your resume, which by the way, doesn't have much on it. But
Doesn't have to. We're building. We're in the laying the foundation.
which you know what though, it might kind of work for us because it's like if they want to do cold reads, they don't really care what you've done.
Right.
Show us what you can do,
Right.
and how you can interact with people. So it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. There was something. Oh, you said something, and I wanted to put a button on it, and I didn't. Something about auditioning and something.
Auditioning.
Oh no. Oh yes. Like okay. No. Compared to when you said how it's been a couple of years and like you feel vastly different about auditioning than you did a couple of
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
I like literally walking into that callback. Of course, there's always nerves because they're strangers. You don't know what's going to happen, but
Yeah.
it's so interesting because I remember I walked in and he just I looked at the guy that I guess was the director, the casting director or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, you could just go for it." And I started, and then I stopped, and I was like, "Okay, well, wait, where do you want me to look?" And he's like, "Oh, you can look at me, you can look anywhere, like whatever you want to do." And so I looked at him, and it just felt I was free of nerves in a way that like I didn't realize I had gotten to this point because it's been a while since I've done an in-person audition. Like it's been
Yeah.
all self tapes for like the past few months.
Yeah.
Um, but like I don't know, like I didn't feel scared in a
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, it's
Was it
interesting.
just him?
So it was him and two other people actually.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And it was just like, I mean, like, yeah, there's nerves and I'm nervous, but it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go in here and do my job, which is
Right.
auditioning, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, no, but I didn't even realize that until you said that. Like, there has been like this weird this, or not weird, but like there has been this mindset shift of like, oh, this isn't scary anymore.
Yeah.
It is. It just is.
And I think also us, like, the older we get,
Hmm.
like, it's not as, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, maybe you're more confident in yourself than you think you are. Like, you kind of understand what you're capable of. And so
Yeah.
it settles,
Any of that like
yeah,
initial like shakiness.
the anxiety of someone who doesn't really know why they're there,
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good
you
way of putting
know?
it. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like because we go in and we know we're there to do a job. We're going to
Yeah.
do our job, and then we leave, and that's it.
The only thing that still gets me sometimes is most of the auditions that I'm going to, I am either the only Black person there or I'm the only Black woman, which I mean, for the area that I'm mostly auditioning in, makes a
Mm-hmm.
lot of sense.
Mm.
But it does sometimes, if I focus on that too much, kind of get like, I psych myself out. Because then I'm like, okay, are they expecting me to be a certain type of way?
Oh,
Or
interesting. Oh,
should
I've
I
never thought about it that way.
lay into it? I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
but then I got to stop myself because then I'm like, now I'm not focused
Mm-hmm.
on what I need to do. Like, I need to either run through my monologue or something in my head, or if they provide the sides for the cold reads, then I need
Mm-hmm.
to start familiarizing myself with it and not think so much about who's my competition.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing sometimes.
No, that's such a good point, and I find it. So I find it interesting that you'll sometimes go into it thinking that they're expecting you to act a certain way because that's never been my like personal
Mm.
perspective. In like in the
Hmm.
sense of like I'll go in and yeah I'll notice I'm the only black person or the only black woman specifically
Yeah.
especially and what goes through my mind is are they wondering why I'm even here, like do they like why are you like or like am I even are they even considering like they're like we definitely wouldn't picture you for the part kind of thing on the
Yeah.
basis
Yeah.
of my ethnicity.
Yes. Yeah.
um and then that like I try not to let that get to me, especially
Yeah.
because like theater is a little bit more forgiving. Like screen acting is brutal,
Yeah.
but theater is a little more forgiving. But even then, especially in predominantly white spaces, it's like were they even thinking that someone
Yeah.
with my color could be in this role?
Yeah. But though, I think about that sometimes, specifically when I'm deciding how to wear my hair
Mm,
for
mm-hmm,
auditions. And that, like, I still haven't like figured out a way to remedy that because I know it's important to have kind of some type of look, some type of
mm-hmm,
consistent look that matches your headshot or whatever. So I'm like, well, sometimes I wear a fro and sometimes I'm wearing braids and sometimes I'm wearing my hair straight.
mm-hmm.
And like, I know with theater, that's a conversation, like how you're going to show up on stage. But I'm like, sometimes I'll sit in the rooms and I'm like, did I make a mistake wearing my fro? Like, are they not going to be able to see like past that? So then I'm like, okay, from now I'm just gonna wear my hair in a bun so that they can just focus on my face and not like my hair. But then I'm like, okay, I have braids. Are they gonna like,
Again,
like
make those assumptions or something, or like, yeah, like use that to influence how their perception of you.
right.
Yeah.
But then again, I got to stop myself because that's, first of all, that's not a conversation for me to have. Like if that's going to be a conversation about changing my hair, which I expect that conversation because it's part of the costume, it's not going
Hmm.
to happen until way in the process after I get the part. And also it's not really that it's not for me to decide what they want in the role.
It's low on the list of things to worry about, but
Yeah.
also I completely understand what you're saying though, because it's as Black women, and with our hair being as politicized as it is, it's something that we have to think about. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even before I heard back for this role, I had already started thinking about, okay, well, if I change, like, I can't change my hair. No,
Yes.
specifically, what it was there's a new hairstyle that I saw on the internet, and I really want to try it. And
Mhm.
I almost like was just like, ah, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. But then I had to
Right.
stop myself because I was like, well, wait a second, because if I get this role, I don't know what they might ask of me
Yes.
sometime down the line. So like, I don't
Yeah.
like, let me not commit myself to this hairstyle just yet.
Yeah.
You know, and I
Right.
mean, in a way, it's not just Black women that have to worry about that. Like everybody has to worry
Yeah.
about their hair. But I
No, for
think
sure.
when we're showing up in these spaces, we have to be
Yeah.
conscious of what our hair looks like and like what
Yeah.
that is doing for their perception of us as people and as actors.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, I've decided most of the time to go with the slick back bun.
Yeah, and I think that's the safest bet.
Just call it a day. I need you to
Yeah,
see my face and what I'm doing. I don't even want to have a conversation about the hair right now, you know?
exactly. You know, completely agreed. Completely, just like pulling it back, and it's there. You see it,
Yeah.
but
It's there.
we'll talk about it when I get the role.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, I guess that's our first episode.
That's
I
the
don't know
first
how to,
episode.
I don't know how to end this.
Well, you know, we haven't come up with a catchy way to end this. So,
Mm-mm.
like, we're just gonna talk about acting. I don't know what else to say. We have more conversations to come. We have, people that we would like to pull into the conversation.
I can't wait until we start talking to our friends.
We have a list of people, and unfortunately, if you're watching this, you're probably on that list. So you might get a text.
No, you will be getting a text if you haven't already. Because I can think of at least 3 people that we've talked about this with. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone in the class, buckle
hmm,
up.
you know you will be contacted at some point. There will be a DM in your inbox, and I expect an answer. Because we do know where to find you.
I was about to
So
say, we know where you're at
we got a
on
whole
class
network
day.
that will help us find you if they have to. So,
Exactly.
mhm.
So, yeah, tune in for more conversations about acting,
Acting,
performance,
yeah,
theater,
theater,
screen.
industry,
Yeah.
creating.
Yes.
Oh my God, so much about creating. Oh, we
Yes.
didn't even get into like half of the stuff, but yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
much.
we have more. This is just the tip of this little holiday cheer.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Merry Christmas, y'all.
That's funny.